Sir, we're approaching a podcast. It's part of the Legion Academy collective called Dice Time.
That's it. Bob Swaim and Ben Jeatran are there.
My lord, there are several Star Wars Legion podcasts. It could be any number.
That is the one. Admiral, set your course for Dice Time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dice Time. I'm Ben Jeatran.
And I'm Bob Swaim, coming to you from a not disclosed location. We're in our ship.
Welcome back to the ship, Bob.
Thank you.
It's good to see you back and ready for more Dice Time action.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Oh, good. Did you happen to get a little present that I left for you? A DC-17, perhaps, owned by a Captain Rex?
Oh, yeah, that was really cool. I was excited, man. I was all good to go. I went to load it, and there was no place to load it. The batteries fell out of it, so I pushed them back in, and when I pulled the trigger, it had this light at the front of it, and I thought it was going to put a hole in the wall, but all that came out was LED light, and when you pulled the trigger, instead of making the right noise, it says pew, 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 pew. Not the noise. What? It actually says pew, pew, pew. It's a fake. I hope you didn't spend very much money on it.
What? But hang
on.
on. The guy at the shop said that was authentic.
Yeah.
No, that was not. That there was this. I saw a certificate for it.
Yeah.
Give it to me though. Hang on.
I took it back and I traded it in. I got you a present though.
Sure. You got me one?
For you. Yeah. Oh. Here you go, man. It's an authentic, really, really real Sabine Wren Darksaber. You know how I know it's real? And it's Sabine's? Because it says Sabine's Darksaber on the box. So
on the box?
Go. Yeah, on the box. Here you go. Check it out.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. I got it from the toy store, on an undisclosed location where I was visiting.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's not my birthday yet, but I'll certainly take this.
Happy early birthday. Don't hit anything with it because it might cut through the hull or break.
I was going to say, or probably break first, but.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go. Thanks for trying, though. It's a thought that counts.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks. I will definitely have to make those credits back now. Anyway, so where have you been, Bob? You were off the show last week or last month when we recorded. Where you been? You haven't been around the ship or anything?
Yeah, I saw you replaced me very quickly. Thank you very much. That was cool. Love Paul Watson. Shout out to Paul, man. You did a really good job for filling in for me. I appreciate it. But it was so worth not being here. So worth missing Paul Watson on my ship, our ship. I got some intel that nobody else is gonna have.
Oh, we got fresh intel?
Fresh intel. You know that Atomic Mass Games place?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just happened to catch a ride and kind of ended up in one of their storerooms with a manifest and some other stuff, and I got some really cool information that nobody else is going to have, and we're going to be first this time because we're never first on anything.
I'm excited. What do we got?
So stupid. Oh, man, they started talking about X-Wing, which I used to play X-Wing. X-Wing's not too bad. They got 3 different box sets for that's coming out, and then they're doing Rebel stuff. They're doing Hera's B-Wing, that orange B-Wing. Yeah. That was hot. And one of the ships that looked like it might be a Sabine. Hey, you'll want that because it says Sabine on it. One of the A-Wings. And then they did a Kanan Jarrus from the book, the first book where him and Hera make. They did a whole set with those. And then they did some Imperial crap. I don't know. I don't mess with the Imperials because, they make our life hard enough. I don't need to look at and buy.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. Did you write this stuff down? Are you reading this off a datapad?
Yeah, I wrote it down. What about it?
Can I see this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's some Legion stuff in there. It's not too much, but
hang on.
Kind of wet your whistle. They did some Armada stuff with Republic ships and some CIS, and they had that dirty droid ship out there, that the missing finger, elbow grease. I don't know what that missing what.
Bob, I don't know how to tell you this, but you do know a few days ago that Atomic Mass Games did a live stream and they went over all of this.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No,
You
no,
didn't
they
see it?
didn't. No, no, I was out in the middle of wild space. They didn't freaking do anything like that, did they?
They did.
It was like radio silence out there. I was talking to I don't know who, but they weren't very bright. They just kept couldn't understand a damn thing they said.
Well,
So you're telling me we got spoofed again?
yeah, I guess so.
Damn it.
But we can talk about it anyway.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about it.
Well, Atomic Mass Games, as of time of recording, did a live stream that was basically an announcement for their Star Wars properties that they're adopting and inheriting from Fantasy Flight, FFG. And despite all the toxicity and hate that people were bagging on them for, like, like production quality and all that, I thought it was a good little breath of air to finally be hearing about the Star Wars properties that they're getting. It wasn't like some huge live stream extravaganza or some presentation, as some people probably wanted it to be. It felt to me more, Bob, like it was a business meeting.
It was
like
a business meeting and kind of a meet and greet. Hi, we're these people,
Yeah.
and this is what we do at Atomic Mass. And oh, by the way, here's some new products, and here's how we're going to run stuff. And yes, OP organized play is going to be a thing. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it at the store level. We're going to do it at the competitive level. So everybody's going to get taken care of. And yeah, a lot of people hated on it, and it's like, dudes, we're in a pandemic, so the lady was at home. Obviously, you could tell by the decor, and the other, I don't even remember their names, but the other dude said he was at the studio, and people were just kind of ragging on him, like, some news is better than no news, and even if you don't like the production quality of it, at least they came out and said something to us, and they gave us dates of when they would do stuff. So now we have dates. So in March they're supposed to do a rollout, so we know exactly what they're doing and some new product and this and that. And they give us dates. I guess that X-Wing thing's coming out in March, and then Armada's coming out in April, and we'll get our new stuff in May. Because I thought it was cool that they showed the X-Wing stuff was actually in the box that you'll buy it in. Mm-hmm. So of course it's done, probably sitting in the warehouse getting ready to be distributed. And the Armada stuff, they at least had the ships or the prototypes for the ships. And our stuff, they were just non-painted plastic models that were stuck together very quickly. So obviously they don't have our stuff ready. That's why it's going to be May before we get our little tidbits of cool stuff.
Yeah.
It
didn't totally feel like some huge like Gen Con spectacle or something. It felt like that office meeting you're supposed to attend, like you said, like the meet and greet. But that's okay, because I think that's really like all of it. I think it really had to be based on like what they were showing and what they were talking about.
If you go and look at the stuff they did at Gen Con, the last Gen Con, their stuff that they were talking about, Crisis Protocol, those were some really nice videos. And they stated that they're going to do stuff every week, and some of it's going to be painting, some of it's going to be gameplay, some of it's going to be rules, some of it's going to be a little bit of everything. Okay, they've set the mark out there. Let's see if they can meet it. So now we have something to look forward to. They didn't just say, oh, we're going to do shows and stuff every once in a while, but we don't know anything about it. They were organized. And I think that's part of what, and again, I apologize, I don't remember the lady's name. It was cool to have the business manager there because she had all the stats and stuff. She's the one that everybody's going to go to. I don't know if she's CFO or whatever, but the CFO or the top person in the business, part of the business knows everything that's going on. So I think she's going to be a really good ally for us if she keeps up, and keeps everything rolling and making sure everybody's doing what they need to do to put out a good product on time. That's the biggest thing with this game. It's never on time. We oh yeah, it's going to be out now. No, it's not. Well, when? We don't know. And then it's, a month or two out, and we're like, dude, can we just not get our stuff? So that's my high point that I'm going to mark for those guys. Can you put stuff out on time? If they do what they do with Marvel Crisis Protocol, we're going to see something like every 2 weeks, which to me, I don't want that. Once a month is fine, but at least they know that they can produce. But they only had one game. Now they've got 3 or 4.
Yeah, 4, yeah.
So let's just see what they do. And I forget somebody else I was talking to that said the same thing. They're like, it wasn't meant to be high quality Gen Con, stuff. They weren't out there. They were getting their names out there. And yes, we're going to do our best to make you guys happy, which I think was cool. Oh, by the way, here's some product that we've got.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. I thought it was good. I'm looking forward to March. I expect March to be the extravaganza that we wanted, that most people wanted for this. I was just happy they got online and talked to us.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was nice to hear from them at all, because there was a long period of time after the announcement was made that they were going to be rolling to AMG instead of FFG, that it was like, okay, well, what does that mean? And it felt like it took forever for us to really figure out what that meant. But now, we're finally here, and we know what it means. So they covered some of the important stuff, that like some of the big questions that were floating around. They covered the fact that the games are not going to be massively changing in any crazy or drastic ways. X-Wing and Armada ships are still going to be painted. There's no Legion 2.0. There's no X-Wing 3.0, anything like that that's planned. So everyone who's worried about that is safe. And you mentioned the streams. They're doing Star Wars themed streams every I think they said Wednesday and Friday.
Yep.
That's huge. They're doing twice. They're just like they go from nowhere or from nothing to like, okay, now we have streams twice a week. I was like, whoa, that's insane.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
That's great. And the one thing that they said that really made my day and really actually makes me trust that they're going to do what they're going to say, or they said that they're going to do. They mentioned when they were talking about how they were branding their stuff, that all the stuff that's coming out till the end of the year is FFG's designs. They're everything, and they were gonna, the boxes were gonna stay FFG, and gave them credit that they worked really hard on all this stuff to get it done, even though they knew, that this was coming. They didn't like lowball everybody. They still made a good product, and they're still doing their best to get it out there for us. And I thought, any other company might say, oh yeah, we bought them out, we're going to do this and this and that, and not even mention that. But I thought that was just the coolest thing, that they acknowledged the people that came before them and their work. So hats off to Atomic Mass for that.
Yeah. And within that, they also mentioned like the time frame of like when stuff gets made. Like, what was it, 18 to 24 months of production, from design from conception rather to product. And so the next like year of stuff is basically still FFG stuff, and then when they start doing stuff, it'll have their logo on it. And I think that's a nice little way to show the transition of when their work started, and then you can make like a hard and fast line that who made what. And I mean I could see people making good and bad ways of looking at that, but I think that's a good thing.
I think it is too.
I can see people being like, well, it's the first Atomic Mass expansion that comes out, like, it sucks, and like maybe like the next 3 come out and they're just like, this all sucks, we're gonna play FFG only Legion or something like that. But I hope it doesn't get to that point.
I don't think it will. I expect
great things from them.
I think if they do the right thing, they put out a great product, and they treat everybody good, which it seems like they're going to. I don't think there's going to be a problem. I think that the game speaks for itself, no matter who's making it, as long as they're not going to change it and make us learn new rules and buy new books and new miniatures and all that good fun stuff.
Yeah. And they mentioned one of my favorite things that I heard was they mentioned they wanted to do like a situational thing, like a Vader down.
That would be amazing.
Situation.
Cool.
Yeah, people have already been talking about like wanting to do narrative, like little scenarios.
They had narratives on the FFG website. They didn't go over very well. A few people I know played them. We were going to play them at the shop, but we never got around to it. I think the Vader down is really going to be a cool kind of thing, just depending on how they do it, to where, because everybody knows that story and everybody knows what happens there, this and that. And it's cool to actually go, okay, well, you can't play Vader because Vader's going to be the star of the scenario. And I think it's really kind of cool that they, someone online here in town in Indy was talking about that he thought it would be cool if they did a narrative for X-Wing. I know we're not an X-Wing podcast, but I thought this was really neat and stuff. If they did that scenario in Rebels where Vader comes in and just rips the crap out of everything by himself. Remember, he jumps, he follows him.
Hmm.
and he jumps out, and it's Hera and a bunch of Phoenix Squadron and stuff, and he just rips them to hell. Would it
Yep.
not be cool to have a bunch of A-Wings out there with the Ghost and play through that scenario and just see what you could do with against Vader with Hera and that flight of ships? And I thought,
Yeah.
man, that's cool. I might have to go borrow somebody's
just to
Hera and
play
stuff
around with it.
just to play it, because
Yeah.
that, to me, that would be really cool. And then playing Vader down, to me, is going to be fun, because I'm always looking for something new at the store, because we play the same thing. We play 500, we play 800, and yeah, while that's fun and that's the way of the game, I would like to throw something else different in there every once in a while. Just have a special like every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, and I mean they do this with Marvel Crisis Protocol. They have some I think they're either called Cosmic Encounters or they're called Ultimate Encounters, where I think they have 2, maybe 3 of them up right now. I'm actually looking more into it because they talked about it. But they have like an Incredible Hulk, and then they have an Ultron one. I know they might have a Thanos one. I might be wrong, but I think they do. They are basically ways to play the game where one person plays as in, for example, they basically play a souped up profile of one of these characters. For example, they have the Incredible Hulk, so there's like a Hulk that's like super
Beefy.
super enraged, and then there's Ultron. There's like Ultron that you would be facing off in like an Avengers movie, and then 2 other players play like their regular team of heroes, and that's an even match. So you have like 2 teams of heroes facing off against this one character that are basically, like, in video game terms, it's basically like a raid, and I think that's so awesome. I haven't played it to see how I have Crisis Protocol, and I'm definitely looking into getting everything that I need to play those, because that sounds super awesome, and I would love to play that kind of thing. And I would love if they're taking that kind of system and like perfecting it and then bringing that to Legion. That sounds so cool, because another one that I would love to do, or I would love to see them do, is The Mandalorian. Think The Mandalorian and IG-11 in like the first episode of the show, where
That would be just
they
badass.
gunsling down like an entire gang, an entire hideout. I would love to do that in Legion.
That would be
So-
fun. And then that last one where they're all in the bar and Moff Gideon shows up and there's 50 stormtroopers outside.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. There's all kinds of storylines that you could do just out of the comics or even out of the movies. I mean, you could do the Thetan invasion, like
Yeah.
a section of it. But there's so many possibilities. It'll be honestly interesting to see where they are at a creative state with those.
Not
Because
gonna lie.
they'll obviously start with Vader down, but after that, where do we go from there?
Not gonna lie, I'm gonna be taking the rules and probably reskinning that one scenario so many different times, because if you know me, I love to proxy stuff out for other stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just aesthetically. Like, rules wise, it's like, oh, rules wise, this is a rebel medic droid. But like, you show up and you see me playing on the table, and I don't have a rebel medic droid, I have like the Imperial one. And you're like, oh, that's the Imperial model. And I'm like, oh yeah, these rebels, they stole it. And they're using it while they can, because it's rebel. But like, rules wise, it's the rebel
med
medic
droid.
droid. Like, I
Exactly.
just proxy stuff out just aesthetically. So when they
but-
give the rules for how they want to do Vader down, one super powerful force user versus, by comparison, an army of cannon fodder, I'm going to be doing the same thing with like Obi-Wan versus a bunch of B1s, or Anakin versus a bunch of B1s. You could easily, Anakin would actually be a better choice because it's Vader. But you could do that with like, General Grievous and clones, or Dooku and clones, or something like that. Or if you just want to swap it, you could do Luke and a bunch of stormtroopers. I don't know how the scenario looks, but just based on how that sounds, you could easily just, in my mind, before I see the rules, you could probably easily just swap models around and play that same kind of game.
Yeah, and speaking of proxies and stuff, let's do a real quick hobby corner here. When
What's up?
they put out that we haven't got our specialist yet, which just peeves me off to no end. So Mike and I, my guy I play with at the house a lot, he come over one night and I had printed out the commander cards, or the 55-point commander card and portable scanners and stuff that's going to be in the set that's coming out in a couple of weeks, the specialist packs.
Awesome.
And I said, I really want to try these out. Can we do it? And he said, yeah. So I got in my kit and I'm looking around and I've got this Fordo model that I made, and I gave him DC 15As, 2 of them, because that's what he used in the comic thing. A lot of people make him with Rex, which is cool, but I went ahead and did that. And I said, okay, he's going to be my commander, because Fordo was a commander basically. He was a captain, but he eventually became a commander. And I ran that around. So who was it? Tabletop Admiral has been moving his site. Love that site. That's a free recommendation. Go to Tabletop Admiral if you don't use it, because it's really good. And he's revamped the whole thing. He's got a card builder, and I ended up making a commander card with all the same stats, and I call it Captain Fordo. And then, of course, I put in parentheses commander proxy or commander card. So I can play him, and it's got his picture on it and all the stats and stuff. And the only thing I couldn't do was give him two DC 15s. But still, it's really kind of cool. And I think you'll see a lot of that when they get those scenarios, like you were saying. A lot of people want to do a Grievous versus clones or Kenobi versus droids and recreate there on I forget where they were, down in the sinkholes where Kenobi killed Grievous. You could play Grievous against a bunch of clones there if you wanted to, because of that, and you could bring like Cody in as one of your unit commanders and all kinds of stuff, and have a really good time with it, I think.
You thinking of Utapau?
Utapau, thank you. I could not think of
Didn't want to cut you off.
No, you're cool.
I do it enough already.
Yeah, but getting back to Atomic Mass, those 2 models are going to be freaking amazingly cool. You can open them up and actually put your troops in them. The doors open. They have glass windows.
I know. I loved the windows. I was yes. I was like, they did the solid windows on the T-47,
right, yeah,
way back in the day when we first started. But then they did like the glass on the land speeder, and I was like, I want to see more of this.
Yeah, because
on vehicles and stuff. That looks cool. And when I saw the AA5 and the LAATLE, I was just like, oh man, I'm so excited.
There's going to be a battery in that, and it's going to glow red on the inside.
Yes. Joe was saying that he wanted to do something like that, and I'm like, I'm in the same boat.
Everybody was like, what kind of music would the theme music be on that? And there was like all kinds of stuff. I forget what I put up, but it was the thing when they were bringing the helicopters in on that Kong Skull Island. Yeah. But I got to thinking, what would work? Would be beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Predator, when they're going into the jungle, because they've got the red lights on and they're playing Wall Sally and all that stuff, and then they turn it off when they decide they're getting out, and they turn the red light off when they jump out and everything. And I'm like, man, it's just going to be a helicopter from Predator. This is going to be kind of cool.
I mean, you can't go wrong with putting Fortunate Son on your LAAT.
You can't. You can't. There's all kinds of freaking music that you could play on it with a speaker thing, but I'm thinking definitely going to put a red light in it, maybe a green also, so you can switch back and forth. But
I'll have to see about getting a purple light for my AA5, because I'm definitely making that thing into a party bus.
I figured that we'll be printing a lot of wings, because that thing's the RV from Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Just print out the wings and slap it on it and go to town. Yeah, but I don't know if I'll get one of those, I'm sure, because Slade's going to want one, which means he'll give me one. But I'm the lat. I had an ongoing conversation with somebody about why are the Imperials getting that lat? That was ours first. Why the hell aren't we getting it? And I kept getting told to wait and wait and wait and wait. And I'm finally like, okay, I'm right. And I just decided I'm right. It's going to be dual faction, because it's dual faction. So
I was so surprised when they said that.
I knew it was coming, because it's stupid that if we hadn't got one, I would have be as mad as all the CSI guys that didn't get anything, because, well, you know what their surprise stuff was? They can run dual tanks and a whole bunch of troopers. That's their big prize. I'm sorry, when you can put 2 commanders in, a operative, dual tanks, and still throw six things of droids in there. Yeah, no, that's your present. Merry Christmas. We got a lat. Sorry, you guys didn't get anything. And that they're going to give them something. They're just being...
Oh, I mean, I feel like they won the last expansion that came out with the specialists, the tactical droid and the repair droid being as cheap as it is, the PK being as cheap as it is. I was like, dang, like CIS just won over here.
Yeah.
And then now this happens and everyone's like, oh man, CIS is getting screwed. And I'm like, no, I think the game's still balanced. Otherwise they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, because that's somebody the other day said CSI's balanced. That's why they didn't get any kind of
CIS, Bob.
Yeah.
I didn't correct you the first time. And now if you're just going to reference CSI Miami in the show, we're going to have to remind everyone that we're a Legion podcast.
Dude, I've been watching that stupid Resident Alien show, and after he does anything, he always goes, dun, dun, dun. So I'm like, okay, that's stuck in my head. That's a great show. Resident Alien, it's on Sci-Fi. Watch it. It's got Alan Tudyk from Firefly in it. He's amazing. He's a great actor.
He's from Star Wars, excuse you?
Not Star Wars. He is from Star Wars too, but but
K2SO.
Yeah, but he started with Firefly.
I know.
Awesome show.
Trying to keep us on track, Bob.
I am, but still, awesome show. Okay, anything about
the LAAT I wanted to mention. I was really surprised that it was dual faction, but then I was like, well, I guess it was. I was just expecting it to be Imperial because they do mirror Rebel and Imperial. The only dual faction thing they've done so far was a standalone expansion that was just extra. And when they said that, I was like, what? They're giving it to Republic too? And I looked and I was like, I mean, they were Coruscant specific.
Dude, if you watch that episode.
If they weren't fielded anywhere else. But I mean, yeah, I'm all about it. I'll take it. It sounds cool. I'm on board. So
I was trying to figure out where was good examples, and talking to somebody, it was kind of like we were talking back and forth, and I'm like, man, I know it's got to be that way. It's just got to be. And then I went back and I was looking through, and I looked on Wikipedia or whatever, and it Wikipedia, and it had a reference to where it had showed up, and it was the episode where they were chasing Ahsoka down.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get that. We've got to get that. If we don't get that, that's so stupid. And then boom, they held the box up, and I'm like, I was right.
I didn't even care where it landed as far as dual faction or not or whatever. I just want one because I'm a lot of people will say that they don't like the aesthetic of this ship. I really love it. I really love the aesthetic of the LAATLE. I think I like it.
It's fractured. It's very cool. Is it a TIE fighter? Is it this? Is it what the heck is that? Don't know, but it's shooting stuff at you.
It's the LAAT TIE Fighter love baby.
It is.
I love it.
I love it. Somebody put up something today where they were comparing it to a full size LAAT, and I was like, well, they could have made the regular one, and it's like that size comparison is way off, buddy. I don't know where.
I mean, the length is kind of there, but it's got to be a lot big. It's still almost twice as big. Still,
it's big, and the wingspan on the regular lat is just.
Yeah, and then
it's twice as big as that.
Yeah, I was gonna say once you're factoring everything in, you're still looking at arguably twice as big. Yeah. And he was holding that thing in his hand, saying that thing was like a whale. So I mean, if we just have to double it now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm thinking May is gonna be amazing.
I'll still hold out for it. I'm gonna still hold out. I'm gonna be on Team Sean. I'm not gonna rule it out necessarily. We'll see. Maybe one day down the line, if we can get a Super Star Destroyer for Armada, one day we might see an AT-AT and an LAAT. And
I was looking at the rules for moving that big ship, and I was like, oh, it moves once a game because it can't go anywhere else.
Right. Well, they'll bring some new rules to the game, and maybe we'll see maybe we'll see a way to do it that we couldn't see before. I would like to put in one more. The most important thing that got announced, the most crucial, was not actually on the stream. It was the next day where they talked about organized play. All 2020 World Invites are being honored, and I am so thankful for it.
They called me up and said they're not going to honor yours because you're a space pirate, and well, that's part of your sentence.
It's happening.
You don't get to go.
I'll wear sunglasses and a fake nose and a mustache, and I'll say my name is Ben Jeatran, and they misspelled some moron misspelled the name on my invite, and they'll be like, okay, and then I'll do Jedi Mind Trick and it'll work. But
So-
oh my
so
god, so
do you
they
have that
did
ticket, like,
exactly
framed?
what I was hoping for. Last episode when I asked Atomic Mass Games Santa for a Christmas miracle, they came through and they delivered, just like the real Santa, Bob.
Yep.
They
Brings you fake
decided,
plastic. Yep.
they decided that all of the world invites that are currently out that were going to be for the 2020 Worlds are going to be honored. They even went as far as to say they're not. Well, they went as far as to say they're not doing 2021 for Worlds. The first one that they're gonna host is going to be in 2022. Now they've said that there's going to be some games and some events and stuff. Ideally, late 2021, early 2022. That will also lead in and give more invites out for Worlds 2022.
I just want to know where they're going to hold that, because
Yeah, I
I
don't
know
know
they
yet.
were having a big problem at Adepticon because they basically stopped every Legion event except for one on Saturday, I think it was, and it only had 8 tickets that you could buy, and everything else was World stuff because they had so many Legion players get World tickets and so many X-Wing players get tickets that they didn't have any space to run anything else.
Let's
So-
demand our space at Gen Con, Bob.
I was going to say Gen Con's about the only place, because I know a lot of people have their businesses shut down because of COVID, so they're going to probably have some extra space at Gen Con, which they said they may run this year, which I don't think they're going to run that very good this year. Hopefully they'll push it off, but I'd love to go. I'd love to go. It's just down the street from both of us.
Yep.
But man, I don't know. I don't want to get into to pandemic talk because that's neither here nor there. But
that aside, they did say, that included, I should say, because if for some reason the pandemic situation doesn't improve, and for some reason Worlds 2022 doesn't happen, if they have to shoot it back to 2023, 2024, 2025, whatever it has to go back to, these 2020 World invites will be valid at the next corresponding Worlds.
Ben will be going there with a cane, and I'll be dust in the wind. But by God, he'll be playing.
By God, I'll be playing. I'm just grateful that I don't have to do any work to get an invite again, because I don't think I could do it.
I'm going to be quiet. No, just kidding.
Well, Bob, I think we're good on the live stream. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about Atomic Mass? Anything you want to say to Atomic Mass? Because if anything, the last 2 episodes ago where we talked about it, if there's anything that's proven true with that, they listened to me. So they listened to us, Bob. Is there anything you want to say to them?
Thanks for the nice preview there. Hopefully the one in March will be the extravaganza that everybody expected this time. But good job. I felt that you guys are trying to do the right thing for us, and I'm willing to give you a shot because I love the game and everybody loves the game. And another thing that we noticed, actually, my buddy Mike said, he goes, "You know what was cool?" And I'm like, "What?" He said during the Armada talk, they held up the invisible foot or whatever the heck that droid piece of crap is.
The invisible hand.
Yeah, that one, the invisible finger, which I like to give that thing a lot. And the other droid ship, and one of the Republic ships, but they didn't have an acclimator. And I thought it was really, really cool. And to me, it made me feel really good. The lady, again, I don't remember your name. I apologize.
I tried looking it up real quick, and I to no success. So
okay, she has a chimera. She held up her chimera to do size, for the invisible, nose or whatever it's called. And she actually has one of the ships. So, she's a player.
Yeah.
So that tells me, because, I expect the designers and I expect the sculptors and the gentleman, again, I don't know your name either. Sorry about that. I'll try and do better next time. Those guys are gamers. You could just tell by that. But she was enthusiastic about the whole thing. And she actually had a game piece at her home. So I'm sure, she's a player. So, okay, fine. They put somebody in the business end that's a gamer. So we're not going to get screwed over by the accountants and all the hires up because they don't game. So they don't get it. To me, she's a gamer and a business person. So I think that's the best person to have, for something like that. But other than that, no, I have a good feeling about this. We'll see where it goes. I may be wrong. I'm wrong a lot, but
apparently when it comes to Legion, you're always right, Bob. So
sometimes. Sometimes, mostly. Yeah, always.
We only hear about the times you're right. Let me put it that way.
That's untrue. I always tell you when I mess up.
If I had to say anything to Atomic Mass as well, my message would be thank you so much for putting in all the work that you're doing for us. If everything in the stream that you guys have promised and everything pans out, which it so far you've presented it in a way that feels like it will. We're very happy to have you, and we're going to be very thankful for all the things you put in. I'm already thankful that you did my one Christmas wish, and and my world invite's still good. And the way that they talked about it on stream and in the article, the way that they're talking about all the properties in the games, I feel like we're in safe hands. So I just want to say to you, Atomic Mass Games, thank you, and please continue to keep being those safe hands. And don't forget to wash your hands.
Repeatedly and sanitize. Anyway, so we didn't really go into the AA5 or the LAAT LE as far as like theory crafting and like rules and keywords and all that. But you know who did, Bob? Who?
The Legion Academy.
Oh yeah, those guys are cool.
And they're moving, so they're going to be moving their live streams to Wednesday, so they can follow up the Atomic Mass Games streams. Now, all the Atomic Mass Games streams that are going to be on Wednesday are not going to be Legion, but they're going to be Star Wars. So on the weeks where they do have Legion stuff, Legion Academy is going to be able to talk about it right after. So when you hear that news drop or you see that reveal or something, and everyone's going to want to start talking about it right away, you could jump to your friend group or your chat group or the Facebook page, but you could go straight to Legion Academy where they have a huge chat of everybody who's right there, fans who love the game, and Sean and Joe do an excellent job going into deep diving into theory crafting and speculation and all that, and it's a really fun time. They have it on their YouTube channel. If you can't make it on their live shows on Wednesday, don't worry. All their shows are archived on the YouTube channel. They also put up the audio format later on all the other platforms. So you can also subscribe to them on Patreon. They have tons of exclusive content that's super awesome. They do monthly gifts like acrylic tokens that they mail out to patrons and just some really awesome stuff. They also do giveaways. They've been doing giveaways of exclusive, the Hoth, the super cool, super hard to get exclusive Hoth Luke. They've been giving out shirts and stuff. It's just a great time. Go check them out. And I wish we could be as cool as them as to do a giveaway, Bob.
Hey,
Yeah.
I was rummaging through some of that junk that we're going to throw out the door, and somebody, I don't know, I bet you Watson did it, left one of those Hoth Lukes in the box back there, and I pulled it out before I jettisoned the trash because it was my turn to do trash this week. So we have one of those, and I know you've got one, and I've got one. So what do you want to do with this one?
I say we do our first ever Dice Time giveaway.
Woohoo! How are we going to do it?
Well, I was going to say what actually happened was the tournament that was on, what was it? Oh gosh, when was that? Was that January?
January.
Yeah. No, wait. Was it December?
I think it was January.
Okay, I'm lost. No, it was December. It was December. So I couldn't show up in January. Yeah. Anyway.
That's right. You missed a
we're only smart sometimes. But in January or December. God.
I'm going to cut this out and start over.
No. I'm keeping that in. I was just thinking I'm keeping this in. Okay. In December, we went in and we played at the store, and we were giving away a Hoth Luke to a random person. We did a raffle, and it just so happened that my name was the one that came up. And I already have, like Bob said, we both already have one, but you know who we could give it to? One of you lucky listeners. So we're going to be doing our first Dice Time exclusive giveaway of a Hoth Luke.
And it's so cool. It's got like 2 different helmets. It's got him just the head without the helmet. It's got him with the gun or the lightsaber. The base is all molded to where it looks like he's standing on snow. It's really cool. I painted up Slades, who owns the store we play at, and man, he's like, "This is the best piece you ever painted." I said it was easy to paint because everything is so awesome on it. It's just a really great model. I'm glad that we get the opportunity to give away one, and tell them how to do it, Ben.
Well, Bob, here's how they win. Ideally, the same
Are they going to watch
day.
the ship? Are they? We should have them come watch the ship.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Then it can actually get done.
Then they can take the trash out. It'd be kind of cool. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, then ideally, the same day that this episode goes live, there should also be a YouTube video on the Legion Academy's channel, a Dice Time video. Not only this episode, but there should be a battle report that Josh and I did of the escape pod scenario. So we actually, embarrassingly, recorded this back in, I think, late December or early. It was either, I think it was early December we recorded this video, and then the holidays hit, and then so I was like, okay, well, it'll be like early January, and then early January I move, which I'm finally settled in and everything. Anyone who's keeping track of locations at home, I'm actually still in Bloomington. For now, we'll see how long that lasts. But
I totally got sick, so
it still took forever. Yeah, I mean, so editing for me has not been. I haven't had time. I've barely had time to do any game. I haven't even really played any Legion. So I know you have, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But we had so much going on that I was not able to really edit it in time, but I'm going to get it done, and it'll be up on the YouTube channel either the same day you're hearing this episode or like 1 or 2 days after. I just have to make sure that all gets done, and I'm going to make sure because I really want this giveaway to go well. So here's how you win. That video, in the escape pod video, there's a moment in there. I'll hint. I play Sabine in that video. There's some other stuff I play, obviously, but I play Sabine. And another spoiler, I do explosions. It's maybe about 40-something minutes in there if you really don't want to watch it, but I suggest you watch it because it was a great game. If you just want to enjoy a fun game of Legion and you want to see the escape pod scenario, check that out. Anyway, I do the explosions play. Josh looks at me with the camera. I'm turned away. And he's like, What are you doing? Like, why are you turned away?" What I say to him in response, put that in the comments section, and you will be entered into the giveaway. And we're going to run that out through the month of February, and then we're going to be recording sometime in the first few days of March, and we will announce the winner on the next show. So the next episode of Dice Time, we will have the winner. And then you can contact us. You can either contact us through like the Legion Academy's YouTube channel, or you can message me or Bob on Facebook. You can get a hold of both of us just by our names. We're in the main Facebook group. At some point, we just need to make a Dice Time page. But
we do.
Anywho.
Yay! Good luck to everybody out there.
Oh, the only thing I do want to add, and I feel really bad about this, but all things considered, this is going to be a U.S. exclusive giveaway. Now, I'm really sorry about this because, like, I know that some of the other countries haven't had the same opportunity to get Luke that, like, the United States has had, and I feel really bad about that, and I want to get it out to, like, some of you guys, but I really don't have the funds to be doing, like, international shipping the way that like the pandemic is affecting them and all that. So I promise at some point we will make it up to you guys, but for now it's just got to be the way it is. But hey, it's a giveaway. So if you're in the US and you still haven't gotten your Luke and you want to try and get it, now you know how.
There you go.
All right, Bob. I hear that you've been playing some games and that you've been playing with some units that you don't usually play with.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. Every time I play the Republic ATRT, and I played it with Rebels because that's what we had, but I just get my butt kicked with them. They get blown up. I still win, some, but I don't win like I'm used to, and it's all because that white dice. I hate white dice. I used to play Rebels all the time, and the white dice wasn't a problem. But then I got a taste of Republic and the red dice, and well, yeah, no. Buddy of mine started playing dual ATRTs and just was kicking my rear end all over the place with them. So I'm like, you know what? I've got one because I pick up one of everything, especially the Republic stuff. And I painted it up 501st and got it out on the field. And it's still, I got my butt kicked. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to play this crap. And then he brought out 2 and was doing really well with it. So I said, you know, I'm just going to throw a Rebel one out there and we'll proxy and see how it goes. We'll use the cards for the Republic one. And so, man, I tell you what, 2 of them make a difference.
Oh yeah.
Just one just kind of is targeted and it's gone and you don't really get to do much with it. But with 2 of them, at least you can take some of the heat off and throw a lot of damage out there. And more often than not, the white dice does roll okay. It's not great, but we've been proxying the engineers, the repair guys. And a lot of people are like, oh, they only repair 1 and then they're done. But man, those guys are really cool because, yeah, they're one and done. But now you don't have to keep that group near the tank to heal it. And you got an extra gun in your unit. So I think that's probably going to start being my standard army. It'll be some stuff mixed around with that. But yeah, if you got a piece that you really don't like because you can't get it to work, you know, just keep going at it. Because eventually it's going to work and you're going to figure out exactly how to play it. And
or add another one.
Yeah.
If you're running one, try 2.
Try 2. I mean, Paul Watson can't be wrong, right?
I mean, that's pretty much just a good rule of thumb to try for new units and stuff that you haven't really played. Obviously, it doesn't work with characters, but if you're trying something out and you feel like it's just not doing it, try putting more of them in there, because then one of them's gonna do it. One of them's gonna do the thing you want. So yeah, it's a big difference from. I went from 0 to 2 honestly, because again because of Paul, because we played at one of the events and he stomped me with his triple ATRT Rebel list, and I was like, whoa, I've been sleeping on this unit again so hard. And so and all my competitive Rebel lists since then have had 1 or 2 ATRTs in them, usually 2. And yeah, they're really nice. You know, you're talking about the Republic variant, obviously, which I haven't played with because I haven't played that much Republic, but I'm gonna get into it soon. And yeah, so I mean, it plays fairly similarly, but it has some pretty good ups to it, like the main gun, the main pilot, his like gunner. I don't even know what to call him right now. The driver's gun,
right?
The
rocket launcher.
Good.
It's really good. And
simple words. It's good.
they get to scout, which is really nice because you can move them in and start them going. So it's kind of cool. So that makes it really nice because you can get them out there a little bit farther and, you know, get them moving. And the red dice or the white dice, like I said, that's not my thing. But for what I get out of it, yeah, it's okay because the repair, the hit points, all that stuff. So I was wrong on that one. And till I'm getting my butt blown up, and then I'll be like, man, what a piece of junk. And I'll go back to throwing in a bunch of troopers. But until then, you know, that actually is a good piece. I know a lot of people already know that, but I just wanted to admit that I was wrong, which doesn't happen very often.
So what are you running? What did you run in your last game with 2 ATRTs, Bob? What did you play?
I call it chicken nuggets or chicky nuggets. Chicky nuggets, and it is awesome.
Good.
Well, I've got Rex and a commander and a couple of strike teams. I know people are starting to rag on the strike teams, but I like it. I put 5s with one of the strike teams because I was told that there's no reason to waste a whole unit with them because you're going to use them to do other stuff. Put your 5s, or not your 5s, but your Echo in a bigger group because he can share critical and lethal and all that good fun stuff. And mostly that, and I put a couple of the rocket launcher phase 1s in there to deal with tanks. So I've got 4 different things that can actually put a hole in tanks pretty quick.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's about what it is. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if it's competitive or not. I know me and Paul Watson were talking about stuff to play, and he kind of threw me the general idea for the thing, and I was like, yeah, that kind of works. So I've been playing around with that. Me and Mike's been playing, and he runs a very similar thing to what I play, and it's a good time.
Rex, it's 2 ATRTs. How many strike teams?
2. Again,
2
I'm trying
strike
to
teams.
get this stupid thing to pull up.
And then how many core?
3 core.
3, and these are phase 1s?
Yeah.
Okay.
But here, I almost got this thing to where it's going. Chicken nuggets.
That doesn't sound too bad.
No, it's 10 activations. It is exactly. It's
did you find it?
Yeah, Clone Captain Rex with aggressive and jetpacks, because you glue jetpacks.
Yes.
To him.
I was hoping you were going to come back to Team Jetpack, Bob.
1 clone commander.
Yes, the clone commander. That's right.
I'm proxying, so that's when that comes out, I'll be ready. He's got offensive push and portable scanner. R2, nice. Because I like to be able to heal 4 points on those chicken nuggies.
Oh, sweet R2.
So two phase 2 clones, both with the RPS-6 and clone engineers. Then 1 phase 1 clone with Echo, and that's it on that one there. An ARC strike team with 5s with an HQ uplink. A ARC strike team with a DC-15 sniper. And then 2 ATRTs, both with the lasers and linked targeting array. Comes out to 10. 10 activations. And then it's got I use Call Me Captain and Synchronized Offense. That's a really nice card. Now, that's how that new set that'll be coming out. It lets you give a token to a mechanical vehicle, and then it gives 1 to a clone. I take that clanker. Air support I've actually thrown out of this army because I cannot get it to work very well, and I think I like push better because I can give everything. And air support basically states that you get a beam weapon, which is handy. It's nice. It's just like Leia. It drops bombs from the sky, or beams from the sky. But I found that I really don't do very well with it, and I would rather have push. So I've changed it over to push and taken that out. We're not programmed, of course. You got to play all the Rex cards. That's the only reason to throw him in there is the cards at the moment. And then Attack of the Clones, which is basically you give 3 tokens out, and they can remove a suppression or they get a surge, and then standing orders, of course. It plays very well because there's enough clones in there that you can get off all of Rex's cards, and that they do very well. The clone commander is multifunctional because he's got a mechanical vehicle in there, and 1 for clones, and then he's got the beam weapon, which, like I say, I don't think I really like it too much. I might figure out something later on that I like it, but the way it's played out now, I don't like it very much. Sure. And and that's what I've been playing, and I think Mike's got 1 on me, and I've won 2 against him. So, in the moment, I'm in the lead. We don't play the score game. He's one of those cool players that if he wins, that's cool. If he doesn't, he really doesn't care.
We don't play the score game, but apparently you do, because you just gave us the score.
Well, yeah, I do. I like to know, because that way I know when it's good, because honestly, I don't get to play like you guys because I run stuff. So to me, every little win counts because I don't get to play as much as everybody else. I generally play the same three or 4 people at my house.
That's fair.
But I enjoy judging, and if you ever get a chance to do it, it's a lot of fun because you can walk around, you can see what's on the table, you can see what's hot, and what's working and this and that. And for us, it's really kind of cool because at my store, I'm blessed by the force because I've got guys that come down from Fort Wayne, which is the 2nd biggest city in Indiana, I think it is, compared to Indianapolis. And they've got a great group up there. Their first event that they ran at one of the stores up there had 16 people. We had done an event the day before and had 8. So they're a lot bigger than we are and got a bigger base. But those guys are starting to come down. So we learn a lot from them on what they're doing up there, because even though they're 70, 80 miles up the road, they have a different meta up there. And then we get Ben's from Bloomington, and his roommate every once in a while. And Trista comes down and plays, so we get a different perspective from him. We've started getting some of the guys from Indies coming up, Matt Evans and Scott, and they've been coming up, and they have a totally different meta than what we play too. So being a judge, I get to walk around and watch all these games and go, well, that's interesting. What do you do with that? And watch them shoot something or do whatever they do with it. So it kind of opens your eyes a little bit to more than what just you see at your store. Everybody plays. CIS. CIS. Is that right? Yeah. Those CIS. I was making it right this time. And, we don't see very much of that anymore. And then last game we had 12 or 13 people show up, and over half of them were droids. And then it's just like weird. It's like where did all this come from? And it was neat to just watch the droids go and watch people smash them and get smashed by them, and it was really just really really neat. So I think it's Power 9 Games up in Fort Wayne. Those guys help us out. We help them out. We advertise for them. And shout out to those guys. They do a real good job. If you're ever in Fort Wayne or you're from Fort Wayne, make sure you check them out because they have a really nice store. Their judges are awesome. The owners are awesome. We went up and checked them out, and we try to run our stuff on weekends that they don't, and they do the same for us. And we've got kind of a collaboration going to where we get their guys, we send guys up there to play, and everybody wins. So. And that's all I got on that. I think we're probably pretty much done. We need to. I
was going to say, after that seamless transition from talking about Republic ATRTs to talking about judging and doing stores, you might as well toss this in. Bob, where do we play, and when's the next event?
Oh, we're playing at Atomic Games and Music in Muncie, Indiana. They're really nice store, really clean. Slade does a real good job. If he ain't got it, he'll get it in for you, and make sure that it gets to you either by mail or if you make it into the store on the games. Our next game is going to be on the 20th of February. We're going to run 500 points. We'd been running 500 points for a long time, and then everybody's like, can we play an 800-point game? And we're like, yeah, we can do that. We can do whatever you want. So we played some 800 points, and everybody's back to, hey, can we play some 500-point games? And we're like, man, we aim to please. Slade does great prize support. It's usually $3, $5 to play, but you get that back in cards and plastic. And Slade's kind of unique. He will take and he'll go to a store and find some Star Wars stuff like comic books or graphic novels, cups. Sometimes he gives out like wall hanging stuff, but it's all Star Wars related. And he'll just throw it in a random number. If we have 12 people, he might put it on 7, that if you get 7th place, you get a cup, or if you get last place, you might get a book, because the winners always get the best selection of cards and stuff, and maybe a couple extra dice or whatever we're giving away that's the hot new thing, But we try to take care of everybody and we make it fair. It's when we gave away our Luke, like Ben said, we had a raffle and Ben ended up winning it, so. So we try to do it fair because the winner always gets the best stuff, and we try to take care of everybody the same and make it fair for everybody. So if you're in the area, like I said, people drive in from Bloomington, Indy, Fort Wayne, all over the place, and you're more than welcome to show up. We try to run great events, and we're family friendly there, and that's pretty much it. We try to make sure everybody gets treated fairly and has a really good time and goes home happy.
Yep, and I can say that I can guarantee that it is a good time. We are a good crowd, and it is fun. I wasn't able to go last month, but I'm definitely going this month, and I know Trista's excited to play it again because I told her that it was 500. So if she wanted to play, she hasn't really played a full game yet. She's been playing a lot of skirmish because that's like so much easier to teach on. And she was just like, "Oh, sweet, let's get some refresher games in," and I'm ready. She said, let's do it. So we're ready to come back and stomp some more ground and get some new people, because I think you guys were saying that you were saying like new people were coming in. So we were talking about, getting to know them and getting to we were saying skirmish is the perfect meet and greet Legion event game mode.
Exactly.
Because you get more games in, or at least they're briefer, so you get to meet more people and all that. We're thinking. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, Bob, so I'm not going to make promises, but I did want to toss this out. Possibly for March, if we can make it work. It's going to require more setup, but 2v2s.
That would be awesome.
Do a 2v2.
I got to talk to Slade about that. I haven't got to talk to him.
Still got to talk to him, so I got to figure that out, because that's going to require more setup and a little more finesse, but just we're just tossing that idea out now because we've done 800, we've done 500. When these narrative ones come out, we need to do them, but 2v2 because that's still there. At some point we'll do Grand Army and then no one will show up to that because that'll be an all-day event.
Yeah, that'll be an all-day, all-night mess is what that'll be. But it's a lot of fun though.
I'll show up to that. And I did want to touch on, you were talking about the prize support stuff. Like, out of all the stores I've been to and of all the events, like store level events and stuff I've been to, Muncie is like the most fun and best like prize support for just showing up for doing OP. It is super great. I've never walked away sad from like what I've gotten that day. And the last time I was there, we had that random kit where we had like a bunch of red dye that we gave away. Yeah,
I think we had 15 or 20 of them. We still got some.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like we still got some, and it's like a lot of people didn't even get those kits, so it's like it's
honestly think that he puts one in every place, where you place in the game. So like if you're last place, you're going to get one red dice. Usually the winner gets two.
I think that's what we did last time. Yeah. So if you want to get a red die, I'm not going to promise it right now, but you got a better chance getting it here than anywhere else. It sounds like. All right. I think that's enough plugging. That's enough. Enough of all this. Don't forget to check out the giveaway on Legion Academy's YouTube channel, but not their giveaway, although you can check theirs out too. But check out Dice Time's giveaway. And the way that you do that, just go on to the Escape Pod video that's uploaded. It should be uploaded on February 7th, or maybe 1 or 2 days after. Josh and I play. Just put in comments whatever I said back to Josh whenever he says, whenever he's like, why you turn away? You just did explosions play. Put that in the comments. You'll be entered. It's going to be a US giveaway this time around. Hopefully we can get something done for international sometime soon. I think that's it, Bob. Are you ready to start taking care of the ship again?
Yeah,
we trash.
We gotta clean this thing out, man. Watson just trashed the whole damn thing. I've been going to the sink and stuff, and the sink's clogged. Don't get me started on the refresher. It's just, it's not refreshing at all. So.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to take care of that. And by I mean you. Yeah,
and also after the Rex gun, no. Your toilet. Your refresher.
All right.
But all right. Big shout out to you guys for covering for me while I was out sick and stuff. You guys did an awesome job. I was so impressed. I sat at my desk and listened to it while I was at work. And thanks to you for freaking out when I said it sucked really bad. And what did you do to my podcast? Because Paul knew. Paul just said I know he was.
Okay, yeah. That was just to explain that. I get this message from Bob the day after we upload, or like the day after the episode goes live. It's just this messenger between me, him, and Paul, and it just says, "What did you do to my podcast?" And I was just like, legitimate. Like, it was early. I think it was still early in the morning or something. Like, and you're not afraid to like.
I'll go.
You won't beat around the bush if something upsets you. You'll go right into it. So it seemed very real to me at the time. I was like, excuse, what did we do wrong? And what was wrong? And then like a minute later, he's just like, I was kidding, it was great. And I was just like, oh, Bob, you can't give me heart attacks that early in the morning.
Paul wrote me on where we were talking. He was like, oh man, I bet you he was like Vance. And I was like, I hope so. That was the effect I was going for, because, well, he's in Bloomington, I'm in Anderson, so.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
I think we need to wrap it up. We're putting off chores now. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I hope you had a dice time with us today. I'm Ben Jeatran. Just want to tell you to go out and make today even better.
And I'm Bob Swaim. Everybody stay safe and keep your masks on, and we'll get through everything bad and get to play some Legion at a big convention. And, again, stay safe.
Good night.
Good night.